My name's Rohan Gunatillake. I run a small company here in Glasgow called Mindfulness Everywhere, and we're best known for our meditation app called Buddhify. I'm here today talking about my experience of making an app in the context of well-being and health. Mindfulness meditation is one of those things that's become increasingly popular in the last 5 to 10 years. But despite all that interest, the number one reason people say they don't follow up their interest is because they say that I don't have time. And so Buddhify solves what I call the time problem by, instead of you having to find 10 or 20 minutes of quiet time in a day, on a crazy busy schedule, meditation comes to you. So we focus on what's called on-the-go meditation, of exercise you can do whilst you're traveling, whilst you're working, even whilst you're browsing Instagram. You can overlay mindfulness techniques into your daily activities, and therefore finding time is no longer the problem. I've learned so much over the years around sort of mental health technology and what works and what doesn't, and so I want to share a bit of that. I'll start with just an explanation of the work I do and what mindfulness is and what it means in the context of technology. And then, because the theme of this event is also around physical activity and technology, I'll talk about how mindfulness relates to exercise and actually how elite athletes are using mindfulness in their training. And then I'll close actually by sharing some of the big lessons I've learned as an entrepreneur of how to make engaging technology for a lot of people and the dangers and pitfalls and promises along the way. Generally, the conversation about technology and well-being can be quite reduced to a very sort of technology bad and sort of being the enemy of well-being, when actually it's a lot more complicated, a lot more nuanced than that. And so hopefully I want to introduce some ideas, perhaps some surprising ideas, like how every app is ultimately a well-being app if you think about it in a certain way, and how the design decisions that we as app makers, and if you're an academic or an entrepreneur or even an app user, the decisions that go into making these technologies change our behavior. And so if enough people use these technologies, it's not just individuals' behavior, it's society's behavior changing. And we've seen that through sort of Facebook and the big platforms. And so what I'm excited about is just sort of sharing the idea that to make sure that we take enough care in how we design these technologies to be supportive of well-being. Because often we think because we're working in the health context, everything we do is going to be supportive of health, but it's not always the case. Whilst there's already been a lot of activity happening in the last several years, we're only really at the beginning of what technology and popular technology can do to make people happier and healthier.